Hey friends, welcome back to my home. Did you guys think I forgot about decorating? The first thing I want to do on the top of my hutch is change out my wall hanging. And I purchased this flower market sign from Hobby Lobby years ago. I love it. I love it out on my back porch over my potting bench in the summer, and I love to use it in my home for the spring. And I just want this hutch to look like it is just bursting with flowers for the season, all the tulips and other flowers that come up during the spring season. So let's go ahead and get the top of this decorated. The first thing I'm bringing in is this little picnic basket that I thrifted last summer, and I added it to my picnic basket collection, although I don't have it out in my dining room this year. I'm bringing the smaller basket out and putting some, I believe they look like cherry blossoms. Next, I'm bringing in some ironstone pitchers, one on each side. The one on the right is from Hobby Lobby years ago. The one on the left was thrifted, and it was a pottery barn find at Goodwill. And I love them both, and I just added some more tulips. Those are the Real Touch tulips that I got off of Amazon.com. If it's something you might be looking for, go check out my link in the description, and you'll be able to find it under Spring Favorites. All right, let's move on down to the next shelf. Oh, I almost forgot. I have these little colored eggs from Hobby Lobby. I got them last year. They're carrying them again this year. I wanted to bring another little pop of color for Easter and for spring, and I thought those just looked adorable up there. On my second shelf down, as my backdrop, I have two ironstone plates. No, they don't match. I thrifted them. I love them. And then just a cutting board that I got from Hobby Lobby. Let me add some more things in front of it. On the second shelf, you can see my backdrop, and I had this little like bird cage that I got from, I believe from Hobby Lobby. And anyway, I put a couple of little Hobby Lobby bunnies in there. On the left, I have some ironstone. I have a small crock with a wooden scoop, and the scoop came from Hobby Lobby. The little creamer with the old silverware in it, vintage silverware I thrifted at a yard sale, and I decided to keep it instead of sell it. And I just love when I get to display it on my hutch. And then in front of the cutting board, those are the dishes that were from the airlines. They used to serve them first class on the airlines, and I thrifted those. Happy to find them. I just added a bunny on top of those stacked ironstone dishes. Now you can see I already have a plate on the next shelf down, and that's going to be part of my backdrop. And let's continue on with decorating my hutch for spring. Just a couple of more backdrop pieces on that shelf. And that on the right is a Great Harvest cutting board that I thrifted last summer. The thing on the left is like a little white tobacco basket from Hobby Lobby years ago, and I love using that as a backdrop occasionally on my hutch. Now on the front of that third shelf down, you can see I moved some things around. I put my old scale up on the upper shelf, and I moved the ironstone heirloom platters down with the bunny. On the right is a cloche that I thrifted at a yard sale for 50 cents, and I put some of those little baskets that you got over in the craft section of Hobby Lobby, and I'll show you a close-up here when I get done. There on the left, crock with a nest and egg in it. In the porcelain cup is some Easter grass, as I call it. And then I have my cow creamer, and I think that that's just enough for that shelf. Let's move on down to the bottom shelf of the hutch. Some of you may not know, but Larry made this for me. He did order the legs, but everything else was from wood out in the shop. I think he even had the beadboard on hand that is on the back of the hutch, but my husband made this. I showed him one that I liked, and he went out there and he created. I have had this for quite a few years. I still love it. He even created 3 little drawers at the bottom of it. You can see them right there. And I store little trinkets in there as well. So let's go ahead and decorate the bottom shelf. As a backdrop for my bottom shelf, I have this tobacco basket. I believe I thrifted it for $1. And let's continue on and add a few more things on the bottom of the hutch. Now, to me, a true hutch has some dishes on it. And although I had the ironstone platters and the silverware and the cutting boards, I just wanted to add these dishes, and I only use 4 for my dining room table. So the others that I have is going over here. Okay, how cute are those cups with the little linen looking carrots? Each cup has 3 carrots in it, and I added a bunny in between. Looks like I'm short 1 cup. Maybe I broke a plate and a cup, not sure. I've had them for quite some time. But over on the right is a cake plate. The last 2 items I added to this shelf is the paper whites in a small crock, and I just love bringing those out every year. I ordered them online, and I just love them. I put some little moss in the bottom of the crock, and I'll show you a close-up of that here in just a moment. And in the background is a very thankful bunny. So let's go ahead and decorate down on the floor underneath the hutch. Under my hutch, I do like to store some of my old crocks that I have thrifted. I have a number 3 crock on this plant stand that I got from Lowe's, and I have all of my vintage rolling pins displayed in there. On the little plant stand setting behind that is another small crock with all of my potato mashers that I have thrifted. And I have 4 in there for now. And then the number 2 crock doesn't have anything at all in it. I like how it looks, but I have a couple of more items that I want to add for the season. The couple of items that I added under there was another crock with some yellow flowers. I wanted this to be a truly flower market hutch, and I think that I have achieved that with these yellow flowers sitting down here in the crock. Also, the little bench that we thrifted at a yard sale last summer, it had a broken leg. Larry fixed it. You probably see me display something on it near my fireplace. I love this little vintage riser or bench or whatever you want to call it. And we didn't do anything to it. He just repaired the leg, and that's the way it looks. And I added a little wooden and metal rustic bunny to the mix. Now let's move over to my dining room table. Although I had already did a spring dining room table, I will be using those same items. I will just have a different centerpiece. So let's move over to the dining room table. Okay, over here on my dining room table, this is what you guys remember. Actually, I have cleaned off the table, flipped over the placemats to the other side. I really do like these. This may be just appropriate for spring into summer, but I had a few items that I wanted to add to the center of my table. And they were a couple of items that I totally forgot to share with you. First off, I want to share this anthropology vase that I had ordered online. I have used it in my master bath. I have used it in my master bedroom. I have brought it out here in the dining room before, and here it is again. I still love it. I know they had them in a black, but I love the white and all the little knobs on it. And this thing is really thick, really heavy, and I'm going to add it as my centerpiece. I have a few more items to add. It wouldn't be Easter without a bunny, and I had tied a cute little green ribbon around his neck just to give a little pop of color. And here he is sitting on my dining room table. I got this one from Hobby Lobby, and I love the size of it. It's not too big and not too small where it gets lost among everything. So I have a couple of more items to add to my table. Over here in the center of my table, these were new items. They were on clearance. The little old decanter and the butter dish from Hobby Lobby this year. I love them both. I love the color, and I'm probably going to leave this throughout the summer. I've got one more item that I want to add. After moving everything over just a little bit and centering it in my table, I wanted to add this cutting board. This is a new cutting board I got from Hobby Lobby this year for $6.99. I love it. I love the size. I love the color. And I decided to put a ironstone creamer right there. If we want to put some cream in there while we're having our coffee at the table, I just love the idea. And there is my dining room for spring of 2025. Let me show you what it all turned out to be. I just want to thank you all so very much for staying to the end of this video. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and leave me a comment that lets me know that you watched. Thanks guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.